In this video, I will give you a brief tutorial on headstands. I encourage you to practice these in the middle of the room. Try to not get too dependent on practicing against a wall. You want to focus on controlling your movement rather than throwing your body around. So starting with your fingers interlaced, keep your elbows close together. Bring your hands behind your head, head to the floor. Hug your elbows close together. Avoid letting them go far apart. So you create a triangle base on the mat. Once you're on your toes, you'll lift one leg and keep thinking of that top leg lifting you up towards the sky. You can bend the second leg to keep everything close to the center line of the body and then extend both legs straight up. Play around here with pointing and flexing your feet just to feel the different activations in the legs and the core. It will feel very different when you flex your feet versus pointing your feet. To test your core strength, extend your legs straight out and try to look for your toes. See if you can hold that for a couple of breaths before lowering back down. A more difficult entry is to pike your legs all the way up. You want to squeeze your thighs together, keep your big toes to touch, and again control the movement on the way up and the way down. If you feel steady, you can start to play around with moving the legs. The key is to keep your rib cage pulled together. Press down through the arms, down through the elbows, and avoid moving your head around at all. Come back down, you'll squeeze your legs together and slowly try to lower your legs back to the mat. Give yourself a few moments to catch your breath. Second way to enter is hands on the ground. Find a triangle on the mat. Hands will go at the base of the triangle, head at the top. Bring one knee to your arm, other knee to your arm. Try to balance here. I think this is more difficult than the other way, but try both. From there, see if you can bring your knees together to touch and just hold the tuck. And extend the legs if you feel pretty stable there. When you're ready to come back down, you'll bring your knees together towards your chest, knees on your arms. You can press up into your crow pose if you feel pretty stable with where you're at. This is a little bit more advanced. Otherwise, you just bring your feet back down to the mat. Taking an entry from a prasarita or a wide leg forward fold, we usually enter headstands this way when we do a flow. So taking your feet apart, it doesn't matter how wide apart they are. Wider is always a little bit easier. Take a few moments to make sure you're warmed up and loosened up in the hamstrings. Relax your neck, bringing your hands to the mat or hands behind the head. You might need to widen your feet in order to get your head to the floor. From here, you'll lift up onto your tippy toes and think of kicking your feet out and apart. So it's really about kicking the legs in opposite directions, kick through the heels. All the way up until you feel your legs connect. Remember to press down through the entire forearms. And then to come back down, you'll just reverse. Notice how much I kick through my heels. You want to make your legs super straight. And then your feet will land. You can come back up. If you have any questions, let me know your feedback. Once you feel more stable in your headstands, you're welcome to take different harder variations. So a harder variation would be arms out wide, palms face up. You're going to find that triangle base. You're just playing around with how wide that triangle base is between the hands and the head. But there's always some form of a triangle base. This is pretty tricky. When you fall out of a headstand, you always want to end up somersaulting out of it. Another option is to cross the elbows, bring your hands behind your head to the floor. Your shoulders need to be really open in order to get up in this variation. And I'm actually not able to demo it for you. It's something I'm working on myself. And practice holding these shapes for a couple of breaths to get the body more familiar with the muscle memory created. Eventually, over time, you'll be able to get up.